Emigrants, the future becomes the past, and us? I don't know now what the leaders of humanity want to do. Especially what the King of Morocco will do. He is an educated man, and he stands for his people, but they have no feeling for this world. Have they lost their perspective, the Christians and Muslims? The Jews are waiting for God to release Eden again and reconnect the broken earth, as Enoch saw it. Christians and Muslims want to go directly to God, but they do not really know what it is like there, and above all they do not know when the time will come. And if their respective Savior only comes in 2 or 3 generations, but then can barely breathe and dies from some vaccination before he or she becomes an adult, said Ronnie. What will happen to the farmers? They will isolate them. Because if they accidentally tell others that there were people who could have solved, or at least drastically reduced, the agricultural problems of the Arab desert states, Anwar asked. I will ask in Rome whether the Vatican is now afraid that the earth must not be repaired so that the faithful of Rome will continue longing for heaven, said a monk. God will not want us. He sent help to help us endure, and we betrayed it. And if we do not at least continue now, in other words, if heaven has become dirty, we try somewhere else. Then God will have to create a new healthy planet, replied a priest. We will have to protect you and your students. You will become the most valuable stocks in the world, the commander laughed. They looked at him questioningly. Even if ordinary people don't notice it. The angelic princes and those you call the new human gods are proud like the gods of antiquity. Like in their race to become the first man on the moon. The launch was the revelation of the milestone, and now they are pawing the ground, waiting for the starting signal, explained the commander. Asu took a deep breath and remained silent. They will run their own race. The ancients. The guardians of the Anunnaki, trying to save what was hidden and left behind, and they think humans must not have it. Some may think they can end their exile with it. Because they now know the wall has been bypassed. Not knowing whether the divine may have left because they were no longer asked for. And whether they should now stay with a species overflowing with self-confidence. Humans have left the planet, and all those tasked with preventing this have failed. If humans are now given or have taken the chance to prove themselves. Or will all evidence of this tragic but successful attempt be erased? It is also said that humanity may have to prove itself or pay the price for the attempt. The Russians and Americans followed the race without looking at the cost. But now? Now more states are in the race. They will run as if chased by wolves, competing with leopardesses that have just switched into sprint speed to seize the trophies before they disappear from Earth. Held back only by demons who need bodies to act but cannot follow through the magnetosphere. They will recruit every environmental activist to collect donations and involve intelligent minds in the solution process, explained the commander. Yes, but wasn't there also talk about spiritual and mental healing and purification? Asked a scientist. Yes. They must now heal and cleanse the activists they poisoned and their children. The demons they sent after them are now the ones sabotaging each of them supernaturally. They cannot simply kill the humans. If they did, the demons would no longer be bound to their orders and would be free to harm anyone not protected by the other side. They must call them back and send them where they came from. They will have to pay them. Demons freed from their orders will first return to the ones who summoned them to take revenge for the binding. We will wait a little longer. And if nothing happens, I will take the 3 of them and finish what I started, said Ronnie. Do you really want to build a new solar system? Someone asked. I lack the necessary equipment, replied Ronnie. But you could do it, he asked again. Ronnie smiled mysteriously. Maybe it is easier to build another dimension than to do all the calculations in this one to avoid gravitational chaos. You could also slip into the space of an extinguished star. There is still plenty of building material lying around there, so you would not have to create everything from nothing. But in a new dimension there would at least be peace for a while. In the commander's room. Whom would you take with you again? The commander asked. What if the United States or Russia offers you a place and funding? That would be difficult. Not because I dislike the countries. It is the people who need it the most, and they have the least say. Visions and dreams are implanted into them, and they run wherever they are manipulated to go. They want everything so that they can control it later. The powerful all have to cooperate if they want something. But their noses are too high in the air. You have to make them look down again. If you want gold, you have to dig for it. You don't pull it out of thin air. At least not yet. They went through a few names. Wait, we'll take him, Ronnie interrupted the commander while he was reading the list of names. Oh really now? Have you even seen his workshop and his laboratory, and... Ronnie stopped him. As they say about Einstein. There are actually very few truly lazy people, or people who never learned how to work. Some are simply discouraged at the moment. A boyfriend or girlfriend left them, or they have a broken heart for some reason. Some are artists. Their minds are always in their own worlds until their work is finished. Some people only lack money and space to finish their project. Afterward they clean everything up. But the most valuable ones are the chaotic ones. The ones always saying, I'll finish that today, or wait, that actually needs to be done too. Those are developers. The creators. Do you think the President of the United States still has time to quickly mop the hallway and fold his shirts with all the work he has to do? Ronnie explained. But you. Oh no. I don't cook here, I don't make clothes, and I don't clean. Kia receives an assignment, and after 1 hour her room looks like a hurricane passed through it, and it stays like that until she finishes. Depending on how long she needed, everything is cleaned up again after 1 or 2 days. And you would take her with you too? Oh, absolutely, the commander confirmed. Give them enough working and living space. And don't step into it while they are working on an individual project. That is why most of them have a 5-day work week, 5 days of work, 1 day for cleaning up, 1 elegant evening, and then 1 for the divine. Right now nothing much will happen. So if he can stay, he can continue immediately. And if he cannot stay, he can start packing as soon as he knows. Would you like to do a little homework? Ronnie concluded. Sure, why not, the commander replied. Okay. My 3 will arrive soon. I want you to identify all the parallels between the desert, Mars, and Elter to reach the point we have reached here. For that, you must read the book or listen to the audiobook. Permaplastic is not exactly like desert sand, but with a 3D printer you can turn Martian dust into glass for the domes in much the same way as desert sand. So you won't need to bring as much equipment. But you must organize everything, from a paper clip to shockwave satellites. On Mars you will initially only have to inform the others. In Elter you were invited there, but you will still have to get everything approved. The goal on Elter is to reduce the risk of famine, the same thing Egypt is trying to do now. Within 3 months you must be autonomous from local production using protein food and vitamins. Well, actually Elter is too easy. But you are not allowed to write anything down. Act as if there were an opposing faction on Elter that would sabotage anything written in order to take control of the planet. I have given you a burden now. I'm sorry for that. Countries will come that have understood nothing. They will try to claim you, even present you with bills in order to bind you to obligations. But you have no duty to any country, and certainly not to any person. What you have learned belongs to humanity, not to the control of a nation or an individual. So you do not have to give it to them. And certainly not to those who were part of this and now want it for themselves. This is the end of the first season. Subscribe to the channel if you want to know how the struggle for world power on Earth will turn out.